My dear Lord, although it is not your desire, you manifest this creation of gross and subtle elements just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy be upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with a splendid wreath of tulsi leaves. Purport. It is clearly stated here that the material world is not created by the personal will of the Supreme Lord. It is created by His external energy, because the living entities want to enjoy it. This material world is not created for those who do not want to enjoy sense gratification, who constantly remain in transcendental loving service and who are eternally Krishna conscious. For them, the spiritual world is eternally existing and they enjoy there. Elsewhere in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that for those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this material world is useless, because this material world is full of danger at every step. It is not meant for the devotees, but for living entities who want to lord it over the material energy at their own risk. Krishna is so kind that He allows the sense-enjoying living entities a separate world created by Him to enjoy as they like, yet, at the same time, He appears in His personal form. The Lord unwillingly creates this material world, but He descends in His personal form or sends one of His reliable sons or a servant or a reliable author like Vyasadeva to give instruction. He Himself also instructs in His speeches of Bhagavad Gita. This propaganda work goes on side by side with the creation to convince the misguided living entities who are rotting in this material world to come back to Him and surrender unto Him. Therefore, the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita is this: give up all your manufactured engagements in the material world and just surrender unto me. I shall protect you from all sinful reaction. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladhananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Okay, so this is a very nice verse by Kardama Muni, which explains the purpose of this material world. And Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that there are spirit souls, most of them, who live in the spiritual world and enjoy serving Krishna there. Life is good. And there are also some souls who don't want to enjoy with Krishna. They want to be a bit on their own. So they don't want to serve Him. So they have to live somewhere. They can't live in the spiritual world. There the devotees will come and say, oh, Krishna did this, Krishna did this, and these rebellious souls will just say, why so much about Krishna? How about me? Say something about me. And everyone will look a bit strange, like, what's this guy doing here? So you can't live. This kind of soul cannot live in the spiritual world with Krishna. So Krishna is creating a material world, somewhere where you can try to be important, become some sort of Krishna, be happy without Krishna. And Krishna is giving these facilities to become independent, to try to become independent. Of course, you're always dependent on Krishna, but at least to pretend that you're independent. There's a funny thing is that you have to think, where do all the atheistic philosophies come from? So they eventually come from Krishna. And Krishna also gives, okay, you want to forget me? No problem, we'll send Shankaracharya. And he will give you so nice philosophy about this, that, and Brahman, and this, and how... Yeah. And just so you can forget Krishna. So, Buddha also, yeah. Krishna is preaching about how there's no Krishna. Why? Because there are some people who want to hear that kind of philosophy. So, Srila Prabhupada gives an example about a prison. And he says that, why does the state create a prison? Does the state want people to be in prison and suffer there? No. The state wants people to act like normal citizens. But the state also knows there will be people. We will have clients. Even if they kick everyone out of prison, there will still be clients for the prison. The prisons will be full very soon. And I know in Lord Chaitanya's Lila, I don't remember the reference. They say that even if you liberate everyone in the material universe, no problem. There will be, you send everyone in the material universe to the spiritual world, no problem. There will be other souls who will populate the universe. Because it's a question of consciousness. Certain type of consciousness means there have to be certain type of bodies eventually. So that's why you have such a variety of species, because there's different types of consciousness. You have this conditioned consciousness, then okay, you have to be somewhere in the material world. And even borders of the countries. Now I was talking with one devotee at some point, and he was telling me that actually these borders, they just represent different modes of material nature. And it's not so much put by people, it's just different modes. You know? Like, for example, if you go from here to Slovenia, if you're subtle enough, you will notice, oh, we're already in Slovenia. Because it's different modes. Or from Romania to Hungary, you know, that Hungarian mindset is in a certain way, Romanian mindset in a certain way. Slovenian mindset is a bit like that, and Croatian is a bit like that. You just notice, you're like, oh, I'm in Slovenia. You don't know why, you cannot explain, but you know, okay, this is Slovenia. There's different modes. Every country has different modes. Every part of a country, they have different modes. So, the point is that every position we have in the material or spiritual world is based on our consciousness. And you can see that many times you can say there's an error. You know, some people you will think, oh, he's in the wrong position. And there's a simple test. You know, you go and meet people on the street. They are so-called very spiritual, and they are in this bogus organization, spiritual organizations. And you try to offer. You say, oh, it's an error. It's by mistake they are there. And you say, okay, let's do a test. Let's try to offer them something superior. I offer you the bona fide spiritual organization. And what will they do? Usually they will not accept. Why? Because there's no error. They are cheaters and they have to be in a cheating organization. So it's very practical. Like you have the example, you have Karna. Yeah, Karna is supposed to, there's if you talk with Hindus, there's a whole debate about Karna, because he's such a nice person. He's so dutiful, he's so this, amazing. And then Krishna goes to Karna and he offers him, oh, why don't you join the Pandavas? And he says, no, I have to be dutiful, I have some debt to pay, I have to be an honorable person, I have to serve Duryodhana. Because he served me, so I have to serve him. Why? Why does he? And Duryodhana is the number one rascal. Why? Because Karna's consciousness is the same as Duryodhana's. So, of course, Karna will be very loyal to Duryodhana, who is a rascal. Why? Because he's also a rascal. So, that's the point, that based on the consciousness, spirit souls get a certain position in the material in the spiritual world, and because they have this rascal mentality, then they can't live in the spiritual world, and they live in different places in the material world. So, what's the root cause of this rascaldom? The point is, the root cause is that people want to enjoy without Krishna. Krishna is the controller, Krishna is the enjoyer of everything, and everyone else in the material world also wants to be the controller and the enjoyer. Maybe not big controller, smaller, but some controller and some enjoyers. And they have to be their own lila. They have to be in the center of attention in some way. You just need to go outside and you see how people are looking to be in the center of attention. And if it's not me who is in the center, then it's my extended ego, my family, my city, my country. People, they have these football competitions. Croatia is quite good in football. And they go to these, people watch these football competitions, and Croatia won this match. And they are at home, they drink 2 beers, they eat some popcorn, and they are like, I am important, I have done something. Like, what have you done? You're just drinking beer. But no, people need some way to be in the center of attention, to be most important. So, okay, let's leave that. So, and everyone is trying somehow to imitate Krishna's Leelas. Most interesting is Madhura Leela. So, people are trying to imitate this Madhura Leela. They have to have their own romance. Krishna's romance with Srimati Radharani is not interesting. I have to have my own romance. And you can see, for example, you see a new couple. You see, they are like, you can see they are a new couple. They are like all, and they are like, oh, very nice, very into each other. And try to stop them and give them a book. What's the success rate for that? Usually it's 0%. They don't even look at you because they are so absorbed in their own lila. This is my lila. This romance. No way. Older couples, you have a chance because they already understood. There's no juice in this lila. there's no actual happiness. So another thing, at some point, I was in Romania in a small city, and this lady came, a bit this arrogant type, this like high heels, like walking or like this, and then I was looking around, and I saw, oh man, I really like this kind of women to some degree. And then I was thinking, why? And there's no philosophy which can explain why, except Vaishnava philosophy, because everyone is trying to imitate Radha Krishna, no? And Krishna also likes a bit. Srimati Radharani is not always submissive to Krishna. So many also in the material world, they try to imitate Krishna. Or they like this kind of, okay. He has a personality. She has a personality. Anyway, but of course, the problem is that these leelas in the material world we're trying to imitate, and of course, the most elevated things in the spiritual world, this parakya rasa is the most abominable in the material world. So it's a bit, not so much. But we try to imitate this, but they are not pleasurable. There's no pleasure in there without Krishna. How can you have happiness without the source of happiness? It just doesn't work. There's no juice in there. And it's also interesting that Krishna gives the intelligence to people how to try to enjoy the material world, and also how to avoid spiritual movements. For example, you go in the center, especially if you go in dhoti, like go in dhoti, orange dhoti, you're visible, they can see you from half a kilometer, they can see you. And then you see, they walk towards you, and then they see you like, they already, as soon as they see you, they're like, and sometimes they don't even see you, they're just walking like this, and then you see that they are walking in your direction, and they instantly, they're coming close, and they're like, I have to go left. Because Paramatma is telling him, no, don't go and meet these Hare Krishna devotees. They're dangerous. You don't want to. You're here to enjoy. You're here to have some fun, and they will spoil your life. Don't go and meet these guys. Just avoid them. So he says, no, don't go there. And it's interesting. Sometimes you go in some cities, like in Slovenia and probably here also, they are just overcooked, like the devotees were there so many times, they distributed so many books that everyone in the city knows about Hare Krishna. And you go in these cities and you're there, and then you meet someone who was living in that city for 10 years or something, and they meet the devotees, and you show them a book and say, "You seen these books before?" Never. Then you're like, I'm like, where were you living? You were living under a rock somewhere. I mean, we were here so many times that everyone. No, because Paramatma somehow, you live in a city where there's devotees, but Paramatma is somehow guiding you. No, not good. Somewhere else. Go somewhere else. So they tell you, don't go to this main square. You can go usually after 6 you can go. But before 6 don't go, like between 2 and 6 don't go, because Lamanchita Prabhu is there. So, so Paramatma is giving them instruction. Maybe, and also before you can go, but because he's... So, no problem. So the point is that people come to the material world to enjoy, but there's actually no enjoyment. You can say, there's one example one devotee gives. If you have a mobile phone, after this class will be some prasadam, and you go and there's some soup, and you take this mobile phone and then you want to eat the soup with the mobile phone. So, so you're like, and you try, and the mobile phone starts to make strange sounds, and also you cannot take too much soup with this mobile phone. And then you'll call Samsung and says, "Hey, what's up with these mobile phones? You don't know how to make mobile phones?" Why? What's wrong? Well, I will try to eat soup with them, and it doesn't work. And then you call it Samsung, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And then they will be like, "No, you don't get it. This is a mobile phone. This is not meant for eating soup with it." It's supposed to call people, you WhatsApp, you are Facebook, but it's not for that. So it's the same with this material world. People think, okay, this is meant for my enjoyment. And the whole purpose is that I should enjoy here. But it's like a prison. You go to the prison, and then you complain to the guards, hey, there's no enjoyment here. Why don't you make a proper prison with some enjoyment, like some... Anyway, I heard in Sweden they have barbecues and they have some enjoyment. But generally, and then they will tell you, yeah, this is a prison problem. I'm sorry, but it's not meant for your enjoyment. If you try to enjoy in prison, tough luck. The purpose of the prison is to get out of the prison. You change your consciousness, you become a normal citizen, and you get out of the prison. Finished. But you don't try to enjoy in prison, because it's not gonna work. The point is that everyone in the material world has this mentality that they want to be in the center. They want to imitate Krishna to some degree. And if you go for Sankirtan, it's good to know that. Because one of the things we do is we glorify them. The more you glorify people in Sankirtan, the more books you distribute. Because everyone is in the material world there to be glorified. So you offer him a 3 minutes arti, and they have to give you a benediction. It's that simple. You're nice to them. I'll give you an example. A few days ago, I was in some small city in Slovenia, and there was this, in some shops, and there was this person, he was coming out of the shop, and I tried to stop him, and he was telling me, oh, I'm a painter, or this, that. I was like, wow, interesting. And he wanted to show me his paintings. He had pictures of his paintings. So I said, all right, there's not so many people here, so let's try to dance like this. So he was showing me this picture, and I was like, this is from Bled, this is from there, this is from there. And I was like, yeah, nice. Oh, you're really talented. Oh, nice. And then after a few minutes, he showed me briefly his paintings. Then I took a book, put it in his hand. No, we just asked for a donation. And he had to give a benediction, because I was worshipping him, like... I was glorifying his paintings. So he had to give a benediction. Okay, what do you want? Well, give a donation. Okay, so he took some book. He had to take some books. So that's we have this devotee, Uddhava Mitra Prabhu, where at some point we saw him distribute books, and we were joking that he's going to people, he's massaging their false ego for 1 minute, puts one book. 1 more minute of massaging, 1 more book. 1 more minute, 1 more book. So after a few minutes of massaging, this person ends with a pile of books. And then they open their wallet, give a donation, and Hare Krishna. So it's half joking, but it's true. That's how people work. And because Sankirtan means, to some degree, it means that you're cheating people into buying a book. They didn't come there to buy a book. They were not. Very few people are there because they are looking for Lamanchita Prabhu. They read the Bhagavad Gita, and they're wondering if he has Srimad Bhagavatam, the full set. No, they're just walking around and trying to enjoy somehow. Okay, where's some enjoyment? Then we somehow cheat them. Of course, we have to cheat them in a way that they don't know they are cheated, or they also like it. Nice cheating. And of course, this cheating is good for them, because we're not only liberating their Lakshmi, which they will use for drinking and running after women and whatever they do with their Lakshmi. They will not use it for Krishna. That's Krishna's Lakshmi. So liberating the Lakshmi, but also we're giving them the highest knowledge. So it's really good to be cheated into this. And of course, we're also, I personally don't care about Lakshmi. But in some way, but in other way, I really like if they give good donations. Because the more donations they give, the more books I can give them. So I really like, okay, 50 euro, all right, you know, then I know, okay, I just search in the trolley, I find all the books I have, like this for you. I'm happy, no? So it's good to cheat people and to be nice to people and to make them appreciate us to some degree. And of course, you have some examples of Sankirtan devotees. You have, this is the formula. Srila Prabhupada gives the formula for Sankirtan. Srila Prabhupada didn't give too much instruction on how to distribute books, but he gave this formula by Prabodhananda Saraswati. He says, okay, I'll just read some. He says, "Sir, you are so great man. You are so intelligent. Oh, there is no greater man like you. You are so intelligent. You are so rich. You are so beautiful. Oh, you are a great sadhu. You have learned so many nice things. I know that, but kick them out, please. Whatever nonsense you have learned, rascaldom, please kick them out. This is my request. Just hear what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. This is my request." So this is Srila Prabhupada's formula. You glorify them, you glorify them, and eventually you say, just forget everything and surrender to Lord Chaitanya. So that's what you do in Sankirtan. A very good Sankirtan devotee, Sanatana Goswami, when he was in jail, he's telling this jail keeper, "Oh, my dear saintly personality, this guy is a jail keeper. He's completely not saintly. You're so wise. You read the Quran, so you know from the Quran that if you liberate a saintly person, you'll get liberated. And then after, don't worry, the Shah will not see me because I will go to Mecca and become a mendicant." so, and of course he gives also a substantial donation. But the whole point, then this person is like, "Oh, I'm not." Does he say, "Oh no, I'm not a saintly person. I'm a rascal"? No, he's like, "Oh, okay, tell me more." And of course, that's one part of the thing. But one day, devotees went to Srila Prabhupada because they heard that if you become devotee, then this means that you have many pious activities accumulated in the past. So the devotees thought, "Oh, we have so many pious activities from the past, we are so good." And so they went to Srila Prabhupada and told him something like this, in these lines. And Srila Prabhupada says, "No, I created your piety." So that's the other part, that's the role of the preacher. You glorify them, and even if they don't have qualities, you glorify them for the qualities that they will have. And by the association of the preacher, they develop these qualities. I was just thinking that maybe this jail keeper, after the association with Sanatana Goswami, he went home and said, "Oh, I'm so learned in the Quran. How about I try to read the Quran? I never read it. So let's see what's in there." So he's searching. Where does it say that if you help a liberated person? And then he gets to read the Quran. And then he actually becomes a saintly person. For example, I tell people sometimes on the street that we're stopping all the nice people. Are they nice? Probably not so nice. But what do nice people do? They take a book and they give a donation. So if they take a book and give a donation, are they nice people or not? They are. Of course they are. They are from the highest nice person, the nicest person, because they are doing devotional service for Krishna. So they're the most elevated person. So actually, that's the role of the preachers. That of course you glorify people and you try to encourage them. But also you educate and you try to put these qualities into people, like Srila Prabhupada would create these qualities in people. People who are completely unqualified, that by association with the devotees, they get these qualities. So that's actually Krishna's mission, because this material world, yes, it's meant to some degree for people to enjoy, try to enjoy, but eventually you have to get frustrated. You'll get frustrated. You try to enjoy this way, that way, that way. It doesn't work. And once you get frustrated, then Krishna appears in your life through his representative. You try to enjoy 5 years, and every time you went to the center, you took some side streets not to see Lomanchita Prabhu. And then after 5 years, you try to enjoy, you get frustrated enough, and then Paramatma tells you, now you can go to the main square. You find this devotee, you can't miss him, and whenever he will offer you a book, and you get it, accept it. So that's also the role of the material world. You get frustrated, and then when you get frustrated, you can start a spiritual life properly, and then you can and that's the actual purpose of the material world, that you can get frustrated, and then when you get frustrated, you can get educated into higher consciousness. Okay, I'll stop here because there are some questions, comments. Please.
Okay, what if Paramatma say, it's not time for you, you enjoy and then go on the left, whatever. And what about Agyata Sukriti? Even the Paramatma said, go on the left, and some devotee from the left, boo! even Paramatma was surprised. And then, okay, what happened now? Books, whatever. What about this kinds of Agyata Sukriti?
Of course.
It was not planned. It was not.
Like Prabhupada, they had these drawings about how devotees distribute. They had these cartoons about how devotees distribute books, and they're like, boom, bang, boom, 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 then boom, and then this person is on the floor with books in their hand and it's laughing out of their pocket. So it's a matter of devotee's desire and the person's desire. So the devotee has this desire, I want to give Krishna consciousness to this person. And this person has this desire, I don't want to take Krishna consciousness. So it depends who is more powerful. So if the devotee is more powerful and he is very strong spiritually, then he might be able to cheat even this person who is completely sure that he doesn't want to take to Krishna consciousness. And I mean, most of the devotees, they didn't plan to become Krishna conscious. And the devotees, by the association of devotees, the devotees who they were associating with them, they wanted more than them that they become Krishna conscious. So it's also a case like this, that that the sadhus, in some place it's said that Krishna says that this Krishna consciousness should not be given to the envious and so on. But devotees, they understand Krishna's purpose even better, so they don't care. Okay, he's envious, no problem. I will try to cheat him into Krishna consciousness. You have Jagai and Madai, classic example. They were not there to become Krishna conscious, but by the power of Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur and their purity, they got confused. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's and devotees. That's why devotees they are instruments for Krishna. They are always present there. They're always hi. You go shopping. They're like hi. You go there. You're like hi. You go there hi. And they're like okay, maybe I'll check what's with this. And of course, yeah, that's you get a lot of Agyata Sukriti in the process. You just hear Hare Krishna. There's Harinam and you hear, oh, this is nice music. Also, as far as I heard, Jagai and Madai, Lord Chaitanya was in Shiva's Sangha. They had these night kirtans. And Jagai and Madai, they were appreciating before this lila. They were appreciating, oh, this is nice. They were thinking that this is some Kali kirtan. But they were appreciating in their own way. So they got some Agyata Sukriti. And everyone, there's like, it piles up and then at some point they say the apple, how call it, ripens in a long time and it falls suddenly. So that's how you put Agyata. You put, oh, he met this devotee, he met this devotee. Many times you see that people who come to the temple, who can come to the temple, they had some devotee association in the past. They had some friend who this, that, and they had extensive devotee association until the point when they clicked and they're like, oh, I have to come to the temple. They come like regularly or so on. So yeah, that also work. There's a long time of association because people are very contaminated. I don't know if I answered, but okay, something else. Okay, I think it's business time. Okay, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.